Please also welcome the Chief Sales Officer of Grivy, Mr. Dean Wantenaar. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome, sir. All right. Also, please welcome as the Brand Strategy and Experience Head, PT Bank CIMB Niaga TBK, Mr. Muhammad Firdaus Andjar. Welcome, sir. And of course, our session's moderator is the Business Director of Omnicom Media. Please welcome Ms. Manju Bala. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Hello everyone, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you MMA team for calling me here. And I would like to thanks to all the speakers and everybody in the room. So today we are going to talk about the topic, building brands with a purpose. So what exactly come out into our mind whenever we talk about the purpose? Sorry guys, I'm a bit nervous because first time I'm facing the audience, so I apologize for that. But I thought I have to do more in future. Definitely I will do that and you will see the improvement as well.
So I'll just say, she just told us that she's got butterflies before. So we said we three are going to make life hell for her. So you guys make it awesome for her. So all the best.
Thank you so much. So today we are going to discuss the crucial component of advertising, which has the power to actually emotionally connect with the consumer's mind and build a long-lasting relationship. So many brands are part of our daily life, only few are loved and got our cherish. Such brands are powerful instrument to change as they lead with a strong purpose. Why? Because we always remember those brands because they have a strong purpose. Even I still remember, couple of advertisement as well, which I have seen on the TV commercials, which has a really great purpose and also the business growth along with that. So, the first question pops up in my mind that how you incorporate the purpose with the brand strategy. So this is the first question, like how we can incorporate purpose along with a brand strategy into our media planning. And what are your favorite brands built with a purpose? I would like to start with Apac CK.
No pressure, yeah. Okay. So first of all, thank you to MMA for this great opportunity. Thank you for all of you being here. Don't be so nervous. Life is beautiful. I don't know. I think they're going to be better to start with. I always don't like the first mover advantage. But coming to the point, for me, purpose is something like if you vision it from a strategy perspective, like, imagine 3 golden circles. Mm-hmm. One big, one small, one more smaller. Now you have to hit the bullseye right in the center. And that's what purpose is. So if you put it in a brand perspective, for me it is the outermost circle, what are we going to do? Inner circle, how are we going to do it? But the most important, the focus, which is going to define your success or your connection or probably your failure or learning, is going to be the why.
Okay.
And purpose comes from the why. Why do I as a person, why do I as a brand, why do we as a brand, as a company, as an organization, as people, as a country, exist, live beyond the reason of money? And that's, for me, purpose. And if you're building a brand, and it does not need to be a very big brand or very small brand, a small kirana shop, a toko, a warung, mm-hmm. a lawyer, everybody can build purpose into them. Okay. There's a lawyer in New York who left his partnership at a very, very successful law firm, started his own, firm, and started saying that for every single case that I get from a corporate, I will do one pro bono case for someone who's underprivileged or cannot afford an attorney. That's purpose.
Okay.
That's as small as that. You ask, which are your favorite brands? Mm-hmm. I cannot name one because
Okay.
there are so many of them.
Yeah.
You take large corporates and, purpose, for those of you who do not know, is not something that has started today. It's something that has been existing from way before. It's just that it has had different names, different terminologies, different connotations. Take Unilever. How many of you know that in 2018, 28 sustainable living brands from Unilever got 69 times faster growth and revenue than the entire portfolio of Unilever?
Okay.
And these are published numbers. Imagine a big brand like that and then coming to say to the world that all our brands will have a purpose. So when you talk about purpose as a strategy, I think purpose as a strategy comes from an angle of what are you trying to solve? What is your business? And I say that I have personally 5 design principles while defining purpose for any brand. First is authenticity. If I say that my purpose is animal rights or fight against animal cruelty, and I am a makeup brand who's doing animal testing, it does not fit me. I sound fake. So be authentic because people see through you. Okay? Second, make sure that your purpose is contextual. And that comes out from the first principle of authenticity. Okay, so if it is relating to your brand, say Volvo talking about safety from the day it has started, making sure that their cars are safe, everything else, when they talk about safety as a purpose, it's believable. If someone else does, yeah, maybe. Okay, last 3 are keep it very, very simple. Don't do a very complicated process of a very complicated purpose or doing too many things as a purpose. That's not purpose. That's what you are doing and what you are giving back. Okay? Lastly, be consistent, be sustainable and scalable. Okay, so...
Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, Pak Dean.
Yeah, thanks for that, Sika. I think, for me, obviously, when I look at brands with purpose or a brand trying to start out with a purpose, they don't necessarily have it in the beginning. Maybe it was just a company that started and it's obviously evolved over time. And as they get bigger and more influential in the marketplace, they start to develop a purpose. It's not that they initially, every company has a purpose when it starts. Probably in reality, most of the time they start out just to make money. But as they grow, they obviously evolve into something larger. Their influence is larger, so they have to then sit down and start to think about this question a little bit more. It's a very long-term thing for me when I think about brand purpose, in that it's foundational. It obviously then starts to really define the organization in terms of what they want to be recognized at, out in the marketplace. As I said, the big thing is the influence or the ability to influence. So this starts to drag in the social issues. I don't think the two are literally the same. There are obviously always a lot of social issues out in the marketplace, and they will change. Those social issues, a lot of them will be hot topics for a while. Yeah. Maybe they'll die off, but overall, they're the sort of guiding principles of what's happening in the world today. Not every company's purpose can align with every single social issue out there.
Yep.
So it does take a brand sort of maybe cause to sit down and actually think about what's going on. But ultimately, I think, when I think of brands, favorite brands of mine, maybe because I was originally from a health and fitness background, I think of brands like Nike. I mean, Nike, for example, didn't start out with the purpose that it's got today. They just started making shoes and thought that it was a different sort of waffle sole if you look at them. And now they've evolved into this massive organization that stretches across the world. And they've had to become a lot more socially responsible. They've had to become a lot more aware, through the manufacturing process, etc. So maybe I'm waffling a little bit on about that, but they now have a purpose. It's obviously to connect athletes across the world, to build community. And they're now this behemoth that has a very, very strong foundational purpose. Ben & Jerry's is another one. They just make ice cream. But they back so many social causes, and they're known to back a lot of social causes. And so they have maybe a purpose to be a very responsible organization that is involved in a lot of societal issues. And I even see last night on the news that they were turned down by some law about not being able to sell their product on the West Bank in Gaza. So, they're a company that's got a purpose to be involved in a lot of social responsibility. So, like CK, there's so many different brands. You think of the Body Shop, obviously Dove, Lush, Patagonia, that are known for their purposes. I think, and obviously, individuals will eventually find those brands that they sort of align with their values over time.
So do you also think that all the brands should have the purpose, or how that actually works? Yeah.
Okay, Manju, I think I would like to add a little bit about the brand purpose. If we ain't saying about brand purpose, sometimes it's very easy to do it in program. But trust me, sometimes it's a big challenge also for us, especially running in the brand strategy. We need to convince our corporation or the management how important it is compared to the business transaction. A lot of companies, they're doing it a program for brand purpose. However, it's only for me, it's a lip sync things. Something that we need to be meaningful and genuine. If you say a lot of data that we collected, more than 70%, actually audience is more prefer the meaningful and helpful brand. For me, even myself, I'm coming from banking industry. How struggling and then challenging for me to convince my senior management, even the board of directors, to believe in brand, because they always believe in getting profit, right? Yeah. So, but along the way, since I built the brand of CIMB Niaga in 2017, in the approach of brand. And now they understand how the importance of the brand, and now they get the result from it. It's that actually, it's kind of like a milestone. I think that very important also, a lot of companies or products, we need to be not trapped in the price war competition. We need to be more genuine. I like the word that quote from CK earlier, be authentic. And for me, not also be authentic. Just don't say it. Just don't say it. Prove it. Yeah, I think that's it. And then talking about the favorite brand, to be fair, I'm not saying one brand particular, because a lot of brands give the good cost, right? So, so yeah, a lot of brands. So I'm looking forward for more brands to do the same. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I'll just add one point to them, and like I said, it's difficult to say about favorite, but, just a bit of a contrast to what you said, Dean. I think for a lot of established brands, if you're part of a big brand or a small brand or someone who's existing already, you do find your purpose along the way. But, the reason I have a bit of a different opinion is because now you see a breed of new entrepreneurs, corporatepreneurs who are coming with purpose pre-built in, pre-thought through. Because earlier, like if you see now, what you talk about, and I've recently been through a seminar, and what you're talking about is legends like Steve Jobs, like Bill Gates, and the works, who, built themselves and then they went into the philanthropy part. But today, I get inspired by not mentors, but by heroes, by friends, who start from a purpose. And I'll give you an example, and I've got Indonesia very close to my heart. So I'll give you an example of something that started in Indonesia by two bule, so bule foreigners, if you don't know, sorry for the word. Two young surfers in their early 20s, way early 20s, used to come to Bali every year to surf. Each year they realized that the more they surfed, every year plastic in the ocean was increasing. And I think some of you would know this brand I'm going to talk about. They said that you buy one bracelet from us for $1, we will clean 1 pound of trash from the ocean. Okay? 2 guys, no support, nobody. Today, this company is the largest global trash cleaning company in the world, at least what I believe in. I could be wrong, statistics you need to check, but they are super huge. They have huge volunteers world over. It's called 4Ocean. I'll give you another example, started in the Europes, called 8 Billion Trees. They again sell patches like these, which I'm wearing. For each patch that you buy, they plant 1 or 2 or 5 trees. They single-handedly have repopulated most of the Amazon forest, which was lost in Brazil. And this, again, was started by a chartered accountant and a waiter at a restaurant. Okay, now, these are inspirations. So when you say brands with purpose, they have to come from the heart. You start with passion, you start with profitability. But if you add purpose, you have such a solid mix that the chances of failure are much lower.
That's actually good to know that, how these both things are complementing each other, right? But my point is, like, if we are just going on to the purpose, then how that can also help in the business growth on a sustainability on a long run. Do you also think that every brand has to go through the purpose to get the business growth or in that way?
Okay, so first of all, this is something that we all should, take with a pinch of salt. There is no right mix, no right remedy. Okay, so there is no magical formula out there that you say one frog leg, one aunt's nose, and then you have like a witch made a portion. It doesn't work like that. Different brands work differently, and purpose does not necessarily need to be social cause. Airbnb has a purpose to make people connect with each other, to build moments, to build memories. That's a purpose. It is good for society still because it is spreading smiles, it's bringing people together. And there are a huge amount of case studies. It does not need to be, I'm going to save the planet. Man, you cannot save the planet alone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's not what a brand purpose means. So please, first of all, what you say, what you wish, what you do, and doing a social cause is not brand purpose. Okay, at Smartfren, we say our brand purpose is very simply to help people open possibilities. We are that friend of yours, coming from our name, who's going to give you the tools that you open your possibilities. We cannot go ahead and out and claim, hey, we are Smartfren, we will change your world. No, we cannot. Mm-hmm. It's you who can change your world. So you are a brand who's an enabler. Like Dean said, Nike, if you take that example, like if you hear from Iper, the way that they have built their brand, there is a lot of inspirational stories out there. And that's what purpose is, how you bring what you want to do, what you want to achieve to reality beyond money.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, on this one. Okay, so I have another question with Pak Dean. Yeah. So in this disruptive era with so many brand competition, how actually you evaluate the market trend when we all know that there is a lot of, digitalization is going on, then how you measure that, the market trend actually?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's safe to say, obviously, no secret that with COVID, the digitization of everything is ramped up a lot. But for me, at the end of the day, the trend, it's going to be measured for me by 3 things. Maybe I would say that, CK mentioned it earlier, is that brand really communicating its why in terms of its purpose properly? Is it resonating with the consumer? Do they get it? Do they get the message straight away, or is it sort of ambiguous and out there people don't really know what's going on? The second thing is there's a lot of voices out there. There's a lot of activity out there. Obviously, with digitization, there's a huge amount of information flow going backwards and forwards. So is that brand's voice actually standing out? Is it being heard above the noise? Are they able to maybe be an influencer or a leader in that category that they're in? Or is their message just run-of-the-mill kind of, boring and kind of along with many other brands? And then I think the third one for me, what I kind of say, the litmus test for the brand being able to rise above or dominate the trend is if because there's a connection with purpose emotionally, I think, and that's what kind of resonates with people when the brand's got the purpose is that emotion causing action? Is it turning into them voting with their feet, with their wallets? And I think now with the internet, are they voting with their fingers? So brands have got to be careful. The fact that we've got comments, reviews, likes, content. There's just so much of it out there. The window frame. If there's a problem where and consumers are much wiser now to that. They lock into that a lot more. They make comments, they make reviews, they're watching. We shop by reviews, we shop by comments sometimes. So if there is a problem where the purpose has gone haywire, or it's not connecting, or they're not showing social responsibility, the window for damage control gets a lot shorter. But ultimately, I think digital is translating more into the fact that there's so much data out there. And I'm really glad today because I have to punt Grivy a little bit because we're a tech enabler that really specializes in the collection and activation and enrichment of first-party data. So, great to hear that there's been so much talk about first-party data today. But ultimately, that data, I think, is what's going to lead to personalization with the consumer. And as Antoine and I think it was Fadli from the previous talk said, the challenge is the activation of that data in terms of moving the consumer, in line with the purpose of whatever the brand's doing out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you like to pinpoint any of the industry where you are hard to find out the market trend actually? Any of the industry, like let's say finance industry or tech or anything which is like a really fast moving marketing trend where we are hard to actually catch the trend or whatever the strategies or the planning we are doing, and the things are moving so fast and we are not able to catch the proper trend, but we are still trying to do that. Any difficulties in particular industry?
If I say off the top of my head, I think technology, it's just moving so quickly that it's hard to always define what a technology company's purpose is. It's just everything's changing and moving so fast. Easy ones to track maybe are things like beauty and cosmetics, because it's easy for them to find sort of purposes and social causes to adhere to. When you think of the big six, like I like to call it, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusivity, and then of course sustainability, eco, and environment are the big six topics. Those are quite easy for brands to latch onto in terms of purposes. Those six topics. But I think technology, it's just moving so quickly that. It's hard to always define what their purpose is. They say change the world and they say do this, but and it is, but it's just hard to, because they're also very young companies, a lot of them,
That's right. Okay, cool. So I think I have a next question for Pak Ipe. So I want to ask about the segmentation marketing. As we already know that, these days the audience, the customer has a different character sketch and their requirements are quite different. So how you deal with that and how you make your planning, the marketing planning according to manage that, especially the segmentation marketing in,
Yeah. Hi, Manju. I'm coming from financial industry, banking. Actually, it's not really sexy product, right? It's really hard and tough to communicate, actually. And in terms of the marketing budget, as well as not that luxury as consumer goods. So we need to be smart and then need to be more targeted. That's why that we implemented that, we call it segmentation marketing. Since 2017, in our best practice in CIMB Niaga, we start to build our youth segmentation. And that growth very healthy, and now like actually the year fifth. And then now we have the communities of youth segment of CIMB Niaga that we call Kejar Mimpi already in 35 cities across the nations. A lot of work by my team. It's not by me. Actually my team will work really hard for that, and works growth very healthy and genuinely. And then with the success of our segmentation of youth that we grow to our family segment. Why we choose the family segment? That because family has a lot of dreams. Aligned with our brand positioning that we call it Kejar Mimpi means that chase your dreams. So we need to be perceived and valued as aligned with our CIMB Niaga value, that why we always be assisting our customer towards their dreams. And another successful towards a family segment now that we open a business segment in terms of emerging business. But on top of that, why we created a 3 segment that from youth, a family, and then also the business segment. We need to be targeted and relevant to our audience. We cannot, with the limited budget that assigned to us, we cannot just spread out in the mass kind of approach. A lot of digital, a lot of contents there. We cannot compete unless you have a humongous budget, that you can compete with. When you have a very limited budget, you need to be smart and targeted, relevant to them. Because, your audience now is very smart. They're smarter even than you sometimes. They know that which one is genuine, which one is not. So we need to be creating a program that's really relevant and engage with them, and they will be loyal to you. I can give you an example, like even the half year of this year, I'm completely surprised with the data that's given to me from my team. From that community, they can give us almost 800 activities just half year. And then that's actually genuine, is no cost from CIMB Niaga. And then because they believe with our value, they believe with our purpose, not just by lip sync, we are there for them, and they believe with us, and they're becoming our warrior. So that's I would like to highlight the segmentation marketing, in terms of how you can be more efficient and effective and targeted and relevant, because that's very important.
Agreed. Yeah. So how you adapt the socially responsible elements in your marketing strategy as well? Because as you mentioned that, the purpose is behind that, and you're also getting, a lot of responses on that. So do you also add the socially, responsibility in your ad campaigns?
Yes, definitely. Again, that's together with them. We done some research. We love research. We love insight. We cannot work and then do the strategy without the insight of and knowing our audience, right? So the social activities definitely is there. Okay. Like from education, philanthropy, environment, etc. But that's actually all the interest from our audience. We're not even approaching them through products. Not at all. But actually behind that, after they believe with us and they align with us, the product is coming in. And then with that, pushing them to open an account with CIMB Niaga, they actually open an account with us, So, that's actually proven fact that how we can do soft marketing push instead of product push, but through the brand purpose.
Agreed. That this is an indirect way, not
definitely.
That direct way.
I think your question towards CK earlier, how brand can grow the business, definitely can. But in the long way run, there is a journey, that the sticky customer that will be there, you just need to be patient.
Definitely. So it's not a hard push actually. Okay. So how about if you can give you any example, if any of the campaign you have run, we can say in an indirect way, not in a direct way, but in an indirect way on the socially responsibility, is that you have run any of the campaign?
Yeah, now I would like to promote a little bit that we do have, I think I can very proudly saying that in banking industry, we are actually the only one who has a social movement. You guys can follow kejarmimpi.id in Instagram. And also we do have an application as well that all social costs and then all the inspiration, talk show, inspiring information, etc. That's actually we provide it to all the segment that we have. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So I have another question for Pak CK.
I'm going home.
How do we engage actually customer and co-create customer experiences which actually supporting the brand purposes? Like more the customer engagement, how you see that trend on that?
Okay, well, so first of all, before I answer that, I want to congratulate you. Super kudos, very inspired by the fact that you can create a community. And, for those who are looking for notes on this, I think one learning that you can take from Piper is that purpose can enable you to not only build a brand, but make people build your brand. Getting key opinion customers rather than KOL, influencers. We spend so much money. These are the guys who work free. And I'll shamelessly promote myself and answer your question also. I'm a smart friend, a bit of smart also. So, Sidikit Pintar. Yeah.
Agreed.
So, now, like Piper, Smartfren also has a whole community, and that's the reason I'm so inspired by him, and it's good to see other brands also doing this. And this is no kudos to me or anyone in particular, but one person in single, that's called my boss, my Pa Roberto, okay? I know he's not going to promote me or anything, but any which ways, here goes. This guy, when he came back to Smartfren, this is his second stint, he started something called Smartfren Community, Piper. And Smartfren Community is, again, a community built out of super fans who like Smartfren, who want to be the Smartfren for Indonesia, because we at the brand believe that we are not Smartfren. Kamu semua, kami semua. Together, we are Smartfren. And we are not Smartfren for a brand, we are Smartfren for a country. We are Smartfren for a community. And that's how this country has the culture. In previous sessions, you would have heard that, in Indonesia, talking about community and the whole feeling of togetherness. I want to grow, but I want to grow with my people. And that's why purpose in a country like Indonesia, in a lot of global nations, is very important. Now, coming to your question, sustainability is very important, co-creation is very important. Sustainability can be done like this. What you did, what Roberto has done, when Smartfren started something like this, don't be afraid of failure, don't be afraid of it growing slow, is the first thing. When Smartfren community started 5 years back, it was 50 people by the end of the year with 10 cities. Okay, none of these are paid people. When we exited last year, Smartfren had more than 2,500 community members in around 50 cities plus. 2 months back, Smartfren has over 10,000 community members across 102 plus cities in Indonesia. These are all super fans. When you're authentic, when you're creating community, when you're creating purpose, when you're co-creating things like this with artists, with communities, people want to come to you. People want to co-create. Smartfren will tell you as an example, for me, what it has taught is that when we created the brand, we said brand purpose is not boring. Don't make it boring. Be fun, be a friend, have events, have cultures, bring the community together. It does not need to be a wow concert or a wow festival. We have done that. But beyond that, locally, with small cities, with small people, how do you bring them together? How you have small events? Smartfren community, like Piper's community, it's not just giving Smartfren and recommending Smartfren, but it is actually what it is doing is providing digital educations. Okay, so when we co-create, I'll give you examples of co-creation at 2 levels.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I've talked a lot, so been reminded that many times. It's your fault you brought me here.
It's okay.
Yeah, their fault they brought me here, man.
You got 6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes. I'll try to finish in one, otherwise they'll kill me. Yeah, okay, I'll blame Shanti, thanks. Okay, so quickly, the first part is, from the communal standpoint, how do you educate the community with digital, how do you empower? I have a whole lot of cases and examples I can give. You can connect me later, I'm happy to share. But one example, Smartfren community started with this guy who wanted to support the art of bamboo weaving. When the National Cadet Course from Indonesia had been taken off couple of years back, a lot of these artisans left their cities, hometowns, and came to the bigger cities to earn living. This one guy, and he was not Smartfren, he's not part of Smartfren community, now he is, he was not then. He wanted to bring these people together. He used to do part-time support and take people out and things like that, like Papa, like you say, stories, like emotions. And Smartfren, Roberto, and our community head, Badani, met with him. They told him, okay, you know what? You are bringing these people. We will do something for you. We will give you data. We will give you connection. We will give you a system. But we will also give you digital education and teach you how you can sell abroad. By the end of the first year, this guy has managed to bring, I don't know the number exact, but I remember last hearing it was like 5,000 plus people back to their hometowns, working, training new people, training younger kids, not child labor, please. But he ended up in the first year selling to 6 different countries, exporting from Indonesia.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great, really great, yeah.
This is the power of brand, community, people coming together.
Yeah.
And that Topi Bamboo, till date, is a big fan of Smartfren. Wherever a Smartfren community event is there, they come.
Okay, that's great. So as you mentioned that, it's more community, the Smartfren is doing for the community.
First part.
Yeah, that's the first part. But there is also any planning like, where 2 brands or 3 brands can, collaborate and do something, something for the purpose. I don't know what exactly the purpose.
That's exactly is the second part. And what I'm wearing, by the way, is an example of that. Okay, and I'm shamelessly going to stand up and show you this. So what you see here is what we call unlimited hope. Okay, and this was a movement started to support a lot of local artists, local businesses, Indonesia, the world. This is something that started as a small initiative by our team called Wow Labs. Okay, so we say with Smartfren everything is wow. So we have this amazing chant with who are we? We are Smartfren. We are wow, wow, wow. So like always wow. So you are all for me very wow because I kind of love how you guys have, built the culture, the love and everything. So coming back to your point, the co-creation does not happen, the purpose does not happen when you do it alone.
Okay.
First part, I explained to you that you can do it with people, community. But when brands come together, and I'm going to chase Piper and Dean after this, Thanks, Shanti, for the introduction. Poor them. But yeah. It's when different brands or different people can come together with the same feeling, the same thought. Now, for example, what you see here is something that is an art which is created by an artist called Show the Monster. Okay, local Indonesian artist. This material has been manufactured with a local Indonesian fabric by a brand called Artin. We supported a local artist, we supported a local brand, great. But does that mean purpose? God, no. Why does it become purpose? When we sell this, this is limited edition. Limited pieces were made, premium quality. I am super proud to wear it myself. Trust me, most of the Smartfren merchandise, I either buy it or I steal it from the team. Don't tell the last part to them. But when I get this, when I pay for it, I as a person feel good that I have done something good to the community. Why? Because I've supported local artists again, local business, but whatever is a part proceed that comes from the sales from this, and that's where co-creation and sustainability come together.
Got it.
Is plowed back to support the community with Benny Bike, with Red Cross, with the Smartfren community or things like that.
So what basically channels you take, choose to just promote that? Is it like more social, KOLs, or how that actually, you choose that channels? Is there any particular channels you prefer at that time?
We choose
or maybe community.
All channels possible. Why should you limit it?
Okay.
And like what you would have seen from the TikTok story, what Papa had said, what the other Waymakers and all said, It's creating multiple channels. We use our own channel, we use our Smartfren community channel, we use our partner channels. We even give the artists a platform whenever we do an event, not just a freaking press conference. So it's about, say, for example, tomorrow if CIMB, Niaga and Smartfren, sorry, huh?
We could.
Yeah. So if we are doing something, we would not just be creating a purpose, but we would be amplifying the power and the strength and the reach that both brands have. You know, Smartfren has certain strengths. CIMB, Niaga has some strengths. Grivy has some strengths. I don't want you to be left out. Yeah. So imagine you have multiple partners and using all the partners. Together, you are stronger. Individually, you can be broken.
Yeah, that's actually the fact. So I think the collaboration with the other brands and the community is the strongest pillar, I think, in the future, which we can see, like how the big brands also collaborate with each other. I mean, this is something. I know the time is ticking up right now, right?
You took too much of my time.
I apologize, Shanti and Rohit and the MMA team, to change a bit format in the, rather than asking last question, the closing question, I want to go with the rapid fire round because we already have the top minds here. So I just want to know, their quick answer on that one, like which is your quick pick on this one. Okay, so first questions are for you, Pak CK. Digital or offline?
Both.
Really? You have to pick one?
It doesn't work that way. If you take either, it doesn't work.
It's
Okay, digital.
Okay. OTT or TV?
OTT in today.
Brand or performance?
Brand or?
Performance. Branding
Brand.
or performance, yeah. Okay. Competitor or audience?
Audience.
Favorite brand or offer? Quick!
I don't like you. Brand.
Video or display? Video or display?
Video.
Okay, so Pak Deen, this is for you. First party data or third party data?
Of course, first party data. Yeah.
Artificial intelligence or human intelligence? Which one?
Tough one, but I'd have to say artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Web3, it's happening, it's coming, it's no avoiding it.
Okay, you don't trust on the human intelligence?
I'm human, I want to enjoy human intelligence,
no,
of course.
I'm just... Okay, push marketing or pull marketing?
Pull.
Okay, so another questions for Pak Ipir.
Yeah.
Brand building or brand positioning?
Brand building.
Okay. Static ads versus dynamic ads?
Sorry?
Static ads or dynamic ads? Okay. User acquisition or user engagement?
Engagement.
Okay. Individual or community?
Communities.
Okay. Mobile or web?
Mobile.
Okay. Upper funnel or lower funnel? There's no middle funnel.
Lower.
Okay. Finally, the lower funnel for the banking industry. So I would like thank you everyone. Thank you Pak CK, thank you Pak Deen, and thank you Pak Ipir, and thanks everybody. And I know I got nervous in the starting because I said that this is my first time I'm facing the audience and the stage as well. But thank you so much for your cooperation, and thank you so much Pak to deal with me on this one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again to our speakers. Of course, we would like to present you with our token of appreciation, a plaque of appreciation for your time, efforts, and your wisdom shared here today with all of our participants. Once again, thank you very much. We're going to take this time for a quick photo op. And of course, we really, really appreciate your time here, and we'd love for you to be able to connect with our participants later on after all of the sessions are done. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for all of us speakers? Thank you very much once again. Wow, it's been